Hello, I'm Marietta Evans, and now we're gonna hear from a lot of people telling a lot of juicy stories about what happened at the Tate Institute. Tell me about the Tate Institute.
People like Henry Tate and his descendants felt obliged to put something back into the community. So 1887 he built the Tate Institute as a place, a social gathering place for his workers. And that worked very well. They had dancers, they had a bar there.
A lot of it was by the Tate and Lyle workers, because you had a little community card. You got in on, you show your card sometimes and all this. They had functions out the back, but out the front there was another bar where all the workers would go in there and have a drink, during their shifts.
Tate's Institute, they had a social club in there, and they used to hold big dart events in there. They were very fond of doing that. But then every so often they used to have socials where the social club, and you could get tickets and you could go into there.
You'd buy tickets to go to Fred Bill's retirement party or whatever. I mean, you knew about them, but I don't know what the money went into, some sort of charity or whatever, it was just a fundraising thing, sort of, and you'd go in there and you could sort of have a few pints. There'd be a nice spread out there, then you'd move on to sort of North Woolwich and whatever at the end of the day.
It was a disco and a drink, and of course because it was a club, it was affordable for people to go into, and it was a dance. It was a good excuse for everybody to get dressed up.
At the back, or you could sort of almost guarantee that there'll be a function going on out the back, whether it be weddings or birthday parties, retirements and all this, it was all going on.
Tate Institute has got a lot to answer for, an awful lot to answer for. It's where I met my husband.
Was it like a normal thing? A lot of couples met at the Tate Institute? Was there a lot of romance?
I would think quite a few couples met, but it wasn't only Tate's that had the social club. Loaders and Nukaline, which was along Factory Road, they also had a social club, and they did the same thing. They used to have dances in there, and people all went along, and it used to be the same sort of crowds that went from one place to the other place. So again, that was nice.
And a lot of drinking as well?
Of course, yeah. Yes, it was, but that's the area that we live in. I mean, with all the number of pubs that we had in the area at the time, that's what people did. It wasn't a bad thing. People would have their fights on a Friday night and then be back in the pub on Saturday drinking together.
You wouldn't get no fights or anything within the institute. It was it was a friendly place to be.
Families go along, you get couples, so I used to go down there. My uncles and aunts, they used to go down.
I think that's what locals remember, the fun they had, the camaraderie, the getting together after a hard day's work, and the friendships that were made, and the marriages and all kinds of things happened at that Tate Institute. So it's what's the word? It's remembered the terrific affection in the area.